Good morning, everybody. Got myself a nice, awesome product and a nice cup of coffee. Fresh cup of coffee, fresh, cool product. GridNetworking reached out to me as I've been following them for about 1.5 years now, talking to them about this one right here is the new product they released. Now, it may look like something very simple to you, because it is, but it's a solution that works very, very, very well. Now, in my opinion, Sparky's created the problem. These guys solved it. Now, picture this. You buy a house, the Sparkies say, hey, I don't want to run Ethernet, and if I do, I'll just run one cable to each room, if that. Because the ISP says, oh, wireless everything. We'll put wireless pods all over the house, and everything will be great. No. Now, these guys created a solution. It has a very nice faceplate, one Ethernet jack in the bottom, not at the back, so when you put it into the wall, it doesn't hit the back of the plate or in the junction box that you use, so you can use different types of junction box, like exterior ones, interior ones, or retro rings, and they work fine. They put the jack on the bottom, so when you put it in there, there's no pushback on it. What they created is a switch that's PoE. 4 PoE jacks on the front, so you can plug in said computer, or maybe you've just built an office in your room there, and instead of having switches all over the place, you now need a phone and a printer. Well, you can do that, because this is 4 Gigabit PoE ports. They did put a little switch on the front where you can turn off the light. Works fine, does its job. They come in white, and I can't remember if I saw them coming in different colors. So I'll have to check up on that. But the main feature of this is your house was built with not enough Ethernet jacks or Ethernet cables in the house, and this provides a solution. Now, you don't have to use it in the house. You can use it in business. You can use it for cameras. You can use it for phones, or if you have like a cubicle in an office where there's only one cable and you need to split it 4 ways instead of using switches that take up power plugs and stuff like that. This solves that pretty quick. Now, it's not managed. There's no management. You just power it with PoE, and whatever devices you plug into it will be powered with this. Now, they also sell their own switches, high-end, very expensive, but very good quality, if you're going to go on a larger scale. For home scale, and in my demonstration today, I'm going to use my GrandStream switch. I have a PoE++ switch that has 90 watts per port over my rack there, so I'm going to use this, and I'm going to show you what this actually pulls and how it works when you plug everything into it. There are some specs. I did print out a nice color sheet, and I'll give you a couple of those. Then I'll plug in a couple things and show you that it's working with a screenshot and make sure it's all working. After I get a cup of coffee, though, of course. Up to 95 watts. Almost 100 watts can go into this thing. That's a lot. So when you plan and use this device, you got to make sure that you have enough power on the PoE jack coming out of your switch to power all this. Now, if you're not using anything PoE, fine, but this does require PoE, so you have to have a PoE switch for this to work. This takes about 1 watt just to power into a main switch. If you're not going to use anything PoE, fine, you can just buy a simple PoE injector to power this device, and then you can plug in your phone, computer, printer, whatever you must say. Power up to 4 802.3 AT devices, PoE+, so class 0, 1, 2, 3. It will power up to 3 802.3 AT class 4 PoE+ devices. The remaining ports, if you've got nothing that's PoE, will just pass gigabit internet or Ethernet to the network devices that you have plugged in there. Oh, and I tested this because I had the question. I'm thinking to myself, what happens if I plug in a PoE phone and on one end it's supposed to be on VLAN 10, but the device that plugs into the phone needs to be on VLAN 1 because it's part of a different network. It will pass all VLAN traffic without a problem, no matter what. It just works. Okay? I'm sure they thought of that because someone's going to put that into a business and go, hey, it's stopping VLAN traffic because we can't do anything. Normally you need a layer 2 switch to tag and untag ports, but this just passes it and there's no problem. But the device that you plug into it must be VLAN aware. So maybe a printer has to be VLAN aware, or the phone VLAN aware. Or if you don't, it's just going to pass the very first VLAN, which is regulator number 1, and it will just work. I said it fits the standard electrical receptacles because it doesn't have the Ethernet port in the back, it has it in the bottom. There's also a ground lug, so if you are in a metal ground box, or if you have the power or the ground in the box, you can ground this. Pretty good idea for safety. It does have a nice snap-on retro ring, so put it on, I'll probably put it on upside down, like that. Okay, nice, clean, sleek looking case. They did send me a nice clear Cat 6 slim cable, which I will use to plug in my phone and show you on here with my access point. That's really about it. I mean, it's a solution for an issue when you have an issue where there's not enough cables in the area where you want to have it, and having this solves it. Kind of like this idea better because you don't have to have an external switch with a power plug and all that other stuff. It just makes it look messy. With this, you just buy an injector and put it on the other end if it's only at one location. Most switches nowadays, you could buy them that are PoE, and it just works. Okay, so I'm going to plug in my phone and an access point and my laptop and show you that it all works. I'll log into my GrandStream portal and show you that it pulls 1 watt, and then I'll plug in some stuff, okay? Hold on. All right, I got a phone, access point, and my laptop. We're going to check and show you what the device pulls without anything plugged into it. We are using 1500 milliwatts, so 1.5 watts right now, just sitting by itself. I'm going to plug in my desktop phone. As we can see, it's powering up, running. And I'm going to plug in oh, there it goes, it jumped up. So now we're using 3.1 watts. And I'm going to plug in this beefy Wi-Fi 7 access point. It's going to be plugged in. And if we give it a couple seconds, that will jump up and go to way higher. Yeah, we're at now 6.6 watts out of 2 devices. Now, the reason why I'm showing you this is because I wanted to show you that it's actually running PoE through it with no issues at all. Now we're at 7.8 watts. I think I do. I'm going to grab a camera and also plug that into it and show you. I have said nice camera. Plugged in and working. And now we're at 12 watts maybe? Nope, 16 watts with a camera booting up, an access point still booting up and running, and a phone. My phone's online because it just beeped and has a green light. So the reason why I want to show you guys that is because someone's going to post and say, hey, can you show some PoE devices plugged into it and running? Yep. 1 cable going in, 4 devices, well 3 because I don't have my laptop plugged into it because I'm on wireless right now, but it actually working. So Sparkies created the problem. These guys solved the problem. The only downside to this would be that you would have to have a Ethernet PoE switch on the other end to power this device. Not really that big of a problem because a lot of businesses already have that because they have maybe said phone plugged into that location, etc., etc. But this does solve the issue with needing more ports in a room, and it makes it look a lot more sleek when you have those ports on the wall instead of a bunch of switches under the desk and stuff like that. So hopefully this will help somebody. Hopefully you guys think it's a great idea like I do. And coffee. If you have any questions or anything, I'll put the link down below for the spreadsheet so you guys can read it, have a look at it, and the link to the actual website for it. So questions, comments, let me know. You guys have a great day. I'm going to go finish up my coffee and put this stuff away. Maybe go install it. See you guys later.